Welcome back, teachers. I wanted to make I think this is a quick video. YouTubers say that all the time, and we'll see.
Brevity is the soul of wit.
You know, this is a time of year where kids are often start being forgotten. So you go back to school and you gravitate towards certain students, and then other kids, I don't know, I guess everyone just kind of thinks they're being taken care of. And so today I want to talk about one really easy and really practical way that you could do in class tomorrow to make sure that no one's being forgotten. Let's talk about that now. I tell this story in my book about being in high school, and I got in trouble my senior year. One of my friends pulled a prank where they put a library book in my backpack. We were in the library, and as I walked out, the alarm went off and I got in trouble.
Thief! I've caught you!
They thought I was trying to steal a book. I got sent to the principal's office, and they sat me down, and the woman who was the principal said, "Listen, I don't know how long you've been here, but this is not how we do stuff like this. When did you start at our school?" And I said, "I have been here for 4 years. I'm about to graduate from here." That's one clue as to why I shouldn't get in trouble, because I've never gotten in trouble in the last 4 years. And not to mention, the book was on football, and I had never watched a whole football game in my life, so that was a thing.
You got the wrong guy.
You know, when I reflect back to that, it was kind of funny, but how often do students slip between the cracks? Students will go unnoticed, and then you get to the end of your school year and you're thinking how is this child failing? They looked like they were paying attention. They looked like they got it. They looked at me every day. They said hello. They nodded their head in agreement when I asked if everyone understood stuff. One of my mentors, Rafe Esquith, who is one of the greatest educators in history, once told me, and I'll put this link up here and in the description box below so you can check that section of the video out, but Rafe talks about this idea where there's 3 types of kids. There's one type of kid that everyone gravitates towards because they are the greatest. They are so fun to teach. They love doing their homework. They love your class. They love the subject matter.
That was me.
There's another student that we gravitate towards, but that's the student that needs all of the attention, right? They are either a discipline problem, they have tons of needs, and it is this endless need for attention, for help. And those students are really gratifying as well, because when you can help that student out, it impacts you. Those are the students you remember often. But then there's a student that Rafe refers to as student 2, who falls in the middle. The kid that doesn't get picked up on, the kid that no one notices, the student that falls between the cracks and is unnoticed. And sometimes this can be harmless, but other times this can destroy a student's chances of success. And so what can we do to make sure that all students in our classes, in our grade levels, in our schools are being taken care of? And so here's a really quick idea that you can do at your next staff meeting. And so I'm going to do the smaller version of it here because I'm in my tiny little office. Here's what it's going to look like. So the first thing you want to do is get all of the student names that are in your grade level. And so if your school's small enough, you could do this with all the students, but we do this as a grade level. And what we'll do is, in a staff meeting, we will project the names of all of the students up onto a wall somewhere. Now, because we're in this office, we're going to use giant sticky note pad, and we're going to put that up back on the wall here over Feeney, like this. So for this, I just have a handful of student names up on the wall. It's going to work the exact same way. I go to the dollar store and I get one of 2 things. I either get these little stickers that you use for a yard sale. It comes with 74 blank ones, so you still have a ton of blank ones, so you don't have to be the 10-cent person.
I'm worth so much more than that.
Or they have these at the dollar store as well. I'm not affiliated with the dollar store. This is not like a promoted ad or something like that. It's just, teachers dream on a budget, and so we go to the dollar store. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to either assign a color, or you can have someone write their name if your staff is large enough. So for each color, someone would have a name. If I am yellow, what I'm going to do is, when it's my turn, I go up and I put this sticker next to every single student that I get down with. And when you're done, your paper's going to look something like this. After doing this activity, what we can see is a couple of things. One, some students get tons of attention, right? Like everybody loves Billy Booth. Dustin and Steve Harrington, they're everyone's favorite. Everybody likes them. They're so likable and lovable and easy to be around. It's really no problem. Even though Steve's a little bit of a stinker, doesn't really do his work, everyone sort of just rallies around him all the time. Then we see some students are getting significantly less attention. So someone like Elle or Will or Hopper, who are clearly going through stuff, but we just didn't realize. We thought maybe somebody else was picking up that slack. Maybe somebody else was vibing with that particular student. And then there are students that are really troubled. There are the Dennis the Menaces and the Billies.
Those kids are trouble.
Everybody knows that those kids are going through it. We look at their grades, we look at their behavior. There are certain things about them that are causing them to maybe not be as magnetized, right? Maybe they're a little bit more difficult to be around. Maybe they're a little bit awkward to be around. But this gives us a very clear vision of who's getting a lot of attention, who's getting some attention, and who's not getting any attention from their teachers. The point of this is not to make anyone feel bad. It's simply to shine a light on some of the places that we might be missing, on some of the students that might need more love, attention, affection, or just a hello in the hallway that aren't getting it otherwise. Now, what do we do next? There's a lot of different things you could do with this information, but one of the things is to sort of divvy up the kids that are not getting enough attention or not getting attention at all, and see if anyone would like to say, hey, I will make sure that I touch base with that student. I will call their parent. I will make sure that they have somewhere to eat lunch every day. And in doing that, we are sort of signing up to care for certain individuals. But that doesn't excuse everyone from doing something. Now we know who just needs a hello in the hallway, who needs a pat on the back when they're coming in the classroom, who do you need to make sure that you're shaking hands with or giving a high five or just dropping a gentle, kind word to a kid. Now we know who those students are. Not every student is going to be your assignment. There's too many students, and that's why teaching has to be a communal activity. When we work together, we do things like this, we start to see who is getting enough, who's not getting enough, and we could just like pour a little bit of gasoline on that fire. What are ways that you and your staff are working together to make sure that every kid is seen, heard, and knows that they matter? I'd love to know in the comment section below. And before you go, if you've not been to our Facebook group, it is an incredibly wonderful place. I'm going to argue that it's the best Facebook group for educators on the internet.
Okay, hot take, but I like your confidence.
So you can go right to Real Rap with Reynolds Teacher Talk on Facebook, and you can just get in. It's only for educators. No one will ever try and sell you anything or push anything on you. And for everything else, Real Rap with Reynolds, you can go right to realrapwithreynolds.com to get one-on-one mentoring, to find out about speaking engagements, to buy merch, and everything else that we offer to try and help educators be who they're called to be. That's it, gang. Peace.